Hey everyone, my name is Danielle Larae, and today I'm going to be talking about the camp coat and the different materials you can use and what those different materials actually look like when the coat is completed. If you need the pattern, you can find it in the description below, and subscribe if you don't already. It helps me out a lot, and I do lots of videos like this to help you on your sewing journey. So we'll start with a little bit about materials first. If you're newer to sewing or you have a home sewing machine that has a lot of plastic parts, I would recommend sticking to lightweight canvas and denim. So 9 to 12, maybe 14 ounce canvas and denim is going to be your best bet. Or if you really have your heart set on a quilt, just make sure you use a thinner quilt. Don't use any comforters or sleeping bags or anything with too much loft, because there's a portion of the pattern where we do the back of the neckline, and there's about three layers that you're going to have to sew through. So please keep that in mind when picking out your materials. You can also hand sew these parts though. Let's say you really want to do that puffy coat. You can always hand stitch. It's just going to take a little longer. So I recommend doing something thinner to start and working your way up. If you are going to line the coat, just keep in mind, again, the materials that are going to be adding up in layers as you go. So if you're using a thick fabric, I recommend lining it with something super thin, like a cotton muslin or just an organic cotton that is, lightweight. It'll just make your life easier and still give you that really nice, clean, lined look. So let's start out with a lightweight 9-ounce hemp. This is one of my OGs. This is a medium. This is a lightweight 9-ounce hemp. I did use regular buttons for this as well. You can use snaps or buttons on this pattern. And you can see the lightweight has a really forgiving drape, very loose, almost like a shacket. So the lighter you go, if you're not going to line it, you will get that shacket vibe. If you want to turn that shacket into more of a jacket, and when I say shacket, I mean shirt, jacket mix. It's like a lightweight mix. Just line it. So if I were to line this with a flannel, a fleece, or a wool blanket, it would immediately give it more of that jacket look and fit. The next one I want to show you is 10-ounce canvas that I got from Joann's. So you can get this fabric at any of your local Joann's. I think Hobby Lobby's has 10-ounce canvas too. So this is still very lightweight, but I lined it with flannel to give it more of that cozy jacket feel. So this one's fun because you kind of get the best of both worlds. This was easy to sew and great for a home machine, but also you still get that cozy look and the really nice, clean finish. I also did an inside pocket, and I lined the outside pocket with flannel too. This was also a size medium. And just a note on sizing, this is a unisex pattern. So if you typically, let's say you're a female and you typically wear a size small jacket, this jacket is going to fit like a men's small. So if you want it to feel more fitted, you might want to go down to an extra small, or it's a chore coat, which is intended to be a little oversized for layers and boxy. So it's going to run true to size if you want that chore coat fit. If you're a male and you typically wear a size medium, the medium will be your typical size. It is unfortunately more geared towards the male because unisex patterns, typically we want to size up and not down because we want to be more inclusive and we want to fit all different types of bodies. Just refer to the body measurement chart. It'll show you all the sizes and where you might fall between. When in doubt, I would say just stay true to size or size down if you want it to be a little more fitted. The next one is quilts. So this turned out really fun. Sorry, I have all these unbuttoned right now. But this is a size small. And this was a light to medium weight quilt, I would say. It wasn't too heavy. I did not line it because if you're using an actual quilted blanket, it's already going to be lined with a cotton. So I did not need to line it with anything else. I still could have if I wanted. It would have made it a little thicker and protect the inside of the quilt a little more. But for this, I felt like it was thick enough and I didn't want to line it. Quilts can get puffy really quick, so just be mindful. No comforters, no sleeping bags. Use a lighter, thinner weight quilt. If you're using an antique quilt, most of those will be thin because of the age. The batting wears down over the years. So just be mindful of that. And yeah, quilts are really fun. If you have a home machine, you might have a little bit of bulk in the neck. You can always hand stitch if you need to. Next one is a thick boy. This is an 18-ounce canvas. You can see that the thicker you get, the stiffer the jacket becomes. The drape becomes really stiff. This is going to be a very classic chore coat though, where a very thick, durable fabric. It's going to take months to break this in. I did a contrasting collar with a wool blanket, and I chose not to line it because it was already thick enough, in my opinion, and it really didn't need to line it. If you are doing a really thick fabric like this thick canvas and you want to line it, go with something thinner. Unless you have an industrial machine, then have at it with whatever you want. But if you're using a home machine, definitely choose like lightweight flannel maybe, or if you're using a wool blanket, a very lightweight wool blanket. And keep in mind, no stretch. All of these fabrics should be no stretch. Stretch will just create weird variations in the drape and make things a little curvy, which on that note, make sure you're using interfacing. Here's an example of a wool one that I did not use interfacing with. This was an early sample, and for some reason, I don't know if I forgot or what, but I didn't use interfacing, and you can really tell here at the waistband and here along the front bodice how it kind of ripples and moves and doesn't stay in place. That's because I did not use interfacing, and the interfacing really gives your garment structure. So anywhere where you need a lot of structure, waistband, front facing with buttons, like you're gonna wanna use interfacing, so don't forget to use it. This is a fun one. This was made out of an old marketing banner from my previous career that I had. And so it's water resistant, which is really cool. You can see it has a stiff drape, but it was a thinner canvas. I think it's a canvas that's been lined with like a poly coating to make it like durable and waterproof. And I lined it with a thin, well, two different colors because I ran out, but a thin cotton, and did not sew down the front facing or the waistband. I am going to hand sew the waistband in a few places though to keep it tacked, but it's kind of nice because you don't get that waistband stitch on the outside, which for this jacket in particular, I didn't want to see the waistband stitch. I wanted it to look really clean on the outside because there was already a lot going on with the lettering. Here is another example of a wool blanket. This was a very thick wool blanket that I used with canvas. So this is a size small. I used a wool blanket with 18-ounce canvas for the collar and oversized pockets. I did not line this one, although if I would have used a very lightweight cotton. But the inside was really cool, so I decided not to line it. You can see though with the thicker wool, this is going to be more challenging on your machine, but it has a really nice drape to it, really sturdy. As long as you use that interfacing, you'll get a really nice, solid drape. And then my final one I'll show you is a upholstery fabric, which don't recommend because it was really hard on even my industrial machine. This stuff is thick, but you can see this thing, if I took the hanger out, it would stand up on its own. That is how thick this drape is. This is a size small, and it looks like very 70s inspired suit jacket, which was what I was going for, and it's kind of fun. I lined it with, this fabric, by the way, is a Chanel from Joann's. I got it on sale, as well as this is the Eddie Bauer flannel from Joann's. While I was doing samples, I didn't want to ruin some of my nicer blankets, so I did buy newer fabric, which isn't typically my shtick, but you gotta do what you gotta do when you're making 30 plus jackets for a pattern. But this is what the inside looks like. It's super clean. This is the newest iteration of the pattern and the one you will be sewing. But I wanted to try it on for you so you could see the drape of it. The thicker you go, the stiffer it is. So this will be a bit to work in as well. And it's, you can see very 70s suit jacket, like going to a nice dinner in the 70s vibe, and I love it. But yeah, so you can see the difference. And you can see too, the size small, the way it fits. Because of the thick fabric, it does tend to bulk out a little bit here. For this, I honestly probably could have sized down to the extra small because it is so thick and bulky. But again, the chore coat, I drafted it off my body measurements, which for reference, I am 5'8", 130 pounds. I typically wear a size 2 to 6 in pants and a small to medium in jackets. And this fits really true like a men's small jacket. So all in all, you can use a variety of different fabrics with a camp coat. Just keep in mind that the thicker you go, the more challenging some of the sections are going to be because you're going to have multiple layers built up on each other. I would recommend 12, 10, I would say 9 at the lowest if you want a shacket, 10 ounce unlined for a shacket, almost jacket, or if you want the real chore coat feel, do 10 to 14 ounce canvas and line it with something thin like cotton, flannel, fleece, lightweight fleece, or wool. But I definitely would recommend canvas or denim for this pattern, or thinner quilts and wool blankets. And just make sure you use interfacing and you'll be good to go. So I hope that helped kind of show you the variety of different fabrics that you can use. And please share using the hashtag #TheCampCoat. I would love to see what you all make. It's so much fun to see the different varieties that everybody comes up with. And let me know in the comments if this was helpful, and subscribe if you don't already. Thank you all for watching, and happy sewing!